August 27th is an important day in the lives of Gabby Petito and Brian Laundrie, maybe the most important day. It's quite possibly the day that Gabby died. It's apparently the day she was last seen alive in public, and it was memorable. According to witnesses and restaurant staff, Gabby and Brian had lunch at the Mary Piglet's restaurant in Jackson, Wyoming. It happened in the afternoon, but it was certainly not a happy occasion. So Brian Enton, this is important. You visited the Mary Piglet's restaurant just in the last 2 days. And I want you to, if you can, characterize for me the conversation that you had with the manager of that restaurant.
So this was just last night, Ashley. This was right before they closed. I mean, we were on your show last night. We were driving like all the way from Moab to here and stopped in Salt Lake. So we were like trying to get here right before they closed. We got there right before they closed. The manager and the staff were all inside sort of together, like kind of talking right before closing. And I went inside and I spoke with the manager, immediately told her who I was. And she immediately said, like, what you've heard about what happened here is not what really happened. She didn't want to go on camera, but take a look.
She says everything that's been on the news about what happened here is made up. She says there was no loud voices, no one got angry, no one threw a fit here, but she says that Gabby and Brian did leave the restaurant without paying, and she says that the server followed them outside, that they paid the bill out here on the street, and that Brian was very calm, but then that they came back into the restaurant together, and that Gabby said that she wanted her money back, and the restaurant said that we're not going to give you your money back, and that then Gabby and Brian left.
Yeah, so I had Luis, my photographer, shoot that because I wanted to like get it out right away because I had just heard her explain all of this. But it was interesting because it was so different than the other witness account. And I told the manager that, and she's like, yeah, it's not true. That's not what happened. She goes, it was all a very somewhat calm situation in her words.
You know, it's so interesting. And this is where I'm so glad that, you know, early in my professional career, I was a waitress and a bartender and a bouncer, 6 years of it. So I know intimately the functioning of a restaurant. And I also know that oftentimes the manager's not there for everything. So I am quite, and I also love covering trials where many witnesses bring their story to the stand and give a fulsome picture of what happened. And one witness's account isn't always the same, and sometimes they're contiguous. So I'm very curious as to whether that Instagrammer, Nina Seeley, saw something that the manager didn't see, because if the manager only thinks that was a walkout on a check, there may very well have been something quite aggressive happening next to Nina's table, as she seems very certain of what she witnessed. So I'm not prepared to sort of discount the Instagrammer. I think that there could be many different versions of what it looked like to them, but certainly the same version that comes from everybody is that Gabby was upset, that's for sure. Okay, just quickly, I want to take you back for a minute to the Salt Lake City Hotel. I know I'm circling back, but I think it's an important moment because there is video of Gabby leaving that hotel, and it's important to know all the places where she was seen on video. But characterize for me why that's important.
It's important because that is where Brian left Gabby when he returned home to Florida to apparently clean out this storage unit. And so that was another one of the stops that we made, hoping to get some information because, you know, that's kind of one of the mysteries. What was Gabby doing during that time? What was happening? And again, it was just sort of immediate shutdown. The manager and the clerk knew why we were there, said that they couldn't talk. There was a restaurant attached that we sort of thought, well, perhaps Gabby ate there because she was at this hotel alone for so long. So we also went to the restaurant, and I think the manager called ahead and kind of warned them that we were coming. And so they also just immediately shut us down. So we didn't really gain any insight into, we know Gabby was there, but we don't know much more than that still.
Thank you for watching. Click the red subscribe. Fact